What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Oh, sadly enough, he was on the verge of death during our last fight. Sir Rimuru, it would be against your orders. To stop that, I resurrected him as a demon, but strangely, he turned into a metal demon, a type I've never seen before.
Diablo fell silent for a while. He looked at me. That term was unfamiliar to me as well.
Was it something I did, or what?
Oh, yes, that was me.
Oh, what do you mean? This was precisely the reason I wanted to have these private conversations. Seal seemed to have been quite occupied. I hoped it had given these matters more thought. If he truly was a metal demon, then it certainly sounded like Beretta.
You shouldn't be concerned about it. The concept is very different.
Well, anyway, I wasn't going to lose my cool over it. Not that I had to, but I was growing tired of this whole thing.
Perhaps it's because of the small encouragement I gave him?
I had to be truthful. There was nothing else to do. As I had anticipated, this delighted Diablo, and we ended up chatting about it for a long time. In summary, Diablo had also become fond of Gadra. They had an ongoing agreement that the demon would take him into his family should something happen. Being the instructor of Raisin, who was born with magic, Gadra was known for her obsession with magic, and I had no doubt that he would transform into a demon in order to satiate his intellectual curiosity. He was that kind of guy, and it was better to let him have his way as long as he didn't bother me. It was all right with me, anyway, because I didn't mind that old man being around. But it'd be terrible if he started dressing up like a dollman, so I made sure to explicitly disallow any Rimuru worship on his part. I wasn't about to let another weird cult member into my midst, Diablo's apprentice or not.
Alright, since he is now under your care, please ensure that you take good care of him.
Honestly, I thought old man Gadra looked really old. It felt somewhat unusual to express it in that manner. However, considering Diablo's significantly advanced age, concepts like golden years became irrelevant or inconsequential. In any case, Diablo now had the responsibility of overseeing 2 personal assistants. He bowed and exited the room, leaving Testarossa to take his seat right away. She sat down in front of me looking as lovely as ever. Though I didn't plan to follow through, I couldn't help but question if I could really call her my secretary. The answer is no. That would mean designating Diablo as my chief ambassador, and I was certain he would go crazy playing that part. I have enough issues as it is. Let's keep going with this. Moreover, I had other matters to discuss with Testarossa. I wasn't sure how to bring it up just yet, but she handed me a piece of paper before I could. It included data about the demons in her family. Name: Moss. EP: 1,079,397. Race: Demon Peer. Archduke class. Blessing: Blanc's lineage. Title: The Empress Confidant. Magic: Dark magic, elemental magic. Skill: Unique skill, collector. Resistance: Physical attack nullification, abnormal condition nullification, mental attack nullification, natural effects nullification, holy demonic attack resistance. Name: Cian. EP: 286,596. Race: Demon Peer. Viscount class. Blessing: Blanc's lineage. Title: The Empress Secretary. Magic: Dark magic, elemental magic. Skill: Unique skill, recorder. Resistance: Physical attack nullification, abnormal condition nullification, mental attack nullification, natural effects nullification. That was all there was to it, along with other details that only I was able to read. Our recent war had produced no direct action for Moss or Cian. They were spared from Ciel's insatiably curious hands because they were not in danger. Regarding Testarossa personally. Name: Testarossa. EP: 3,333,124. Race: Divine Demon. 7 Primordials, Devil Lord. Blessing: Rimuru's Blessing. Title: Killer Lord. Magic: Dark magic, elemental magic. Skill: Ultimate skill, Death King Belial. Resistance: Physical attack nullification, abnormal condition nullification, mental attack nullification, natural effects nullification, holy demonic attack resistance. She had so many more existence points now than she had before the war. When she battled Velgrand on the airship, the figure was at least 3 times larger than before.
It seems like your magicule count increased significantly, right?
Yes, it did. If it had happened before my decisive battle with Velgrand, I'm certain it would have made the performance more intriguing. It's unfortunate.
Well, I wouldn't want to characterize war as a performance, would I? Even if I told her, I doubt she would pay attention. My time spent here has solidly convinced me that quality prevails over quantity in combat. Battle experience had a greater influence on the fate of individuals in this war than their magicule counts. Given their nearly identical experience levels, Testarossa had fought a fair fight against Velgrund. She could not hope to win a protracted battle, but she could manage to delay it and buy some time, at least. Testarossa was clearly considerably more formidable in combat now if her magicule stores were indeed larger. That was extremely reassuring, but it also increased my responsibility to keep an eye on her and ensure she didn't spiral out of control. Right now, I was leaving all that to Diablo, but I realized that I ought to give her a little more attention. Death King Belial, nonetheless. It was a skill with a sinister scent, as befits Testarossa. Thought acceleration, universal perception, Demon Lord Hockey, spacetime manipulation, multidimensional barrier, all of creation, life domination, and world after death were among the powers it possessed. This was a world system skill as well. It was also a world after death, something I hope to never encounter. I'll let Seal handle the management since I'm scared.
Is this anything you wouldn't want to discuss in public if we had a private conversation? What precisely would that be?
Once Testarossa provided me with the statistics regarding Moss and Cian, she promptly proceeded to address the main task at hand. I felt relieved that she was so perceptive. Flipping the page mentally, I addressed a personal concern of mine. Our upcoming appointment with Masayuki early tomorrow morning.
I believe I might be overanalyzing the situation, but I wanted to discuss something with you. I have a scheduled meeting with Masayuki and his team, but I'm uncertain about the best approach to take.
Ah, I understand. Are you referring to our strategy for handling the Empire?
Once again, really perceptive. It was unexpected.
Yes, precisely. He seems to be rather disturbed by that, and if they ask me for answers, I'm not sure what answers to give them, in a way.
Even if Masayuki was the reincarnated Emperor Rudra, a possibility I doubted Shion had considered, that still didn't mean they would simply allow him to ascend to the throne. We still didn't know where the reigning Emperor Rudra or the now transformed Michael had gone. Should Masayuki declare himself to be the leader, it would be strange for my country to try to steer him in that direction, but I figured he'd do whatever he could to avoid the commitment. Furthermore, as long as people trusted Rudra, there was no way to overcome Michael's castle guard abilities, so we would also need to think about how we would deal with the people of the Empire. The worst part was that I had absolutely no time to do this. It would be difficult enough to try to patch things up with King Gazel, but this was even worse. I didn't want to get too engaged in any of it, as I said, but I didn't think I would be given the luxury.
Then feel free to include me in the discussions. I used to rule the eastern countries that the Empire now calls home. I would be happy to assist you in this as your diplomatic attaché.
Lovely. How trustworthy she was becoming. Seal couldn't handle this on her own. I could convey whatever answer it came up with, but I'd still need help from people on the ground to really carry it out. And even if Seal was entirely right, we'd still have to find another solution if the Empire rejected it. I didn't believe we had the right to engage in other nations' internal affairs unless we intended to turn the Empire into a vassal state of Tempest. In a similar vein, I had confidence that Testarossa possessed the mental abilities necessary to handle any challenges that might arise. She performed well with the Western nations, so I felt comfortable leaving the rest to her once we determined our course of action.
All right, I'll see you early tomorrow morning.
That's great. I'm on the job.
Once again, Testarossa's smile gave me comfort. I felt slightly better. That was all I had to give her, so I got up to watch her go when.
I wanted to report one more thing, Sir Rimuru.
Oh?
Kalgurio, the former Imperial commander, has submitted a clemency request. I believe you remember.
It made me remember things. Although it was a theoretical matter, I didn't perceive any impossibility with his request.
All right, why don't we address that at this time?
It was fortunate that Testarossa had recalled for me. I also felt secure with her because of her attention to detail, so I went to our research lab with her, intending to have that job done before dinner. There were only 2 individuals to go. I called Ultima after a quick meal.
Waiting for you was killing me.
She exclaimed in an adorable manner as she casually sat down on the sofa. It brought a slight smile to my face, and I couldn't help but envision her as an endearing little sister for someone. The thought enticed me to prepare some tea and fetch a few of my favorite cookies.
Hey. Whoa. Sir Rimuru, you do it for me?
Hey, just so you know, I can also make tea. It might not be the best tea, but I can give it a try. Actually, I could even make some coffee if you prefer.
Alternatively, I could simply switch on a coffee maker. When it comes to more elaborate methods, even Shion could outperform me. It's a bit disheartening, but it's the reality. These days, Shion has become quite adept at preparing both tea and coffee. I made an attempt myself, as it didn't seem fair to constantly criticize others' culinary skills. but it's more challenging than it appears. In my previous life, I relied on takeout for almost all of my meals. Cooking a meal from scratch was unfamiliar territory for me. I lacked any experience in the kitchen because work consumed most of my time, and the effort involved in cooking and cleaning up afterward didn't seem worthwhile in terms of efficiency. Consequently, the kitchen in my apartment remained as pristine as it was when I initially moved in. From time to time, I would purchase a cookbook, thinking that I might try my hand at cooking when I found some free time. However, as expected, I never actually did. Nevertheless, that memory proved to be useful in the present, so I suppose it wasn't a complete waste of money. In any case, if the task simply involved grinding some beans and pouring hot water, even someone like me could manage to make a cup of coffee.
No, not at all. This tea is more than enough to satisfy me.
Seeing her genuine happiness, I couldn't help but feel the same way.
Well, there's no need to refuse coffee, though. It may take a little while to prepare, but we can have a conversation in the meantime.
Desiring a cup of coffee myself, I proceeded to place a filter in the coffee maker and pour hot water over it. This convenient coffee-making setup was the creation of Kaijin and had become widely available in the market, leading to successful business for cafes as well. As the delightful aroma of coffee beans wafted through the air, I made an effort to exude an air of elegance and sophistication while serving Testarossa. I was confident that this gesture would greatly enhance my reputation. Making positive impressions in such matters held significant importance to me.
Personally, I consider it to be trivial or insignificant.
And personally, I couldn't care less about it.
This strategy was comprehensive and sophisticated, devoid of any triviality. Furthermore, there was no purpose in putting on a facade of strength in the presence of a group of primals who were deeply immersed in their war-driven existence at all times. It would be more advantageous to engage in competitive pursuits with them in an entirely different genre or arena.
Oh, you don't need to worry, in my opinion, because you have already sufficiently demonstrated your dignity to them.
Certainly, there's no issue with it. I never intended to appear dignified to them in the first place, but it made no difference. Let's return to our subject.
Alright, then, may I hear your report?
Of course. Let me give you this first.
She gave me a written summary of her clan statistics. Name: Veyron. EP: 882,869. Race: Demon Peer, Duke Class. Blessing: Violet's Lineage. Title: Poison Princess's Butler. Magic: Dark Magic, Elemental Magic. Skill: Ultimate Gift, Artist. Resistance: Physical Attack Nullification, Abnormal Condition Nullification, Mental Attack Nullification, Natural Effects Nullification, Holy Demonic Attack Resistance.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Just a Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Zach Rosen, Jordan Mersha, Orion Booker, Kamal Luke, Wei Jun, Elvin Quarty, Steven, Mose Chaudhary, Ara Dare, Spencer Candila, Dijo. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.